All right, breaking news coming in at this point after that ugly spat between the US President Donald Trump and the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky's first response has now come out. This is the first response after he met with the US President. He says that he wants peace and that he's ready to sign mineral deals. He also said that he needs to know that America is on our side. So big breaking there coming at this hour. Volodymyr Zelensky, this is his response to the United States. He says this is his first response after meeting Donald Trump. He says that he wants peace and that he's ready to sign mineral deals. And my colleague Disha Bakshi joins us on the phone line to get us more on this. Disha, this is the first response that we are hearing after he met with the US president, and especially after that ugly spat between the two world leaders. What exactly does this mean?
Absolutely, Osama. What this means is that despite the fact that there was this fiery clash between the Ukrainian leader Zelensky and US President Donald Trump, the Ukrainian leader is open to continuing to have dialogue between the two countries. He, in fact, in these comments has now said that, while the having talks is quite tough, it is crucial that they continue to have this strategic partnership and this relationship, because it is crucial to have America's support in this war. So, in fact, he's made these comments just after landing in London, where he's supposed to participate in a summit led by European leaders, and it kind of continues to show how European leaders are now trying to back Ukraine and support Ukraine in this war amid Washington's shifting stance on Ukraine. And now, since in the past 24 hours, since the fiery clash between the two leaders, we've seen European leaders from across the region come out in support, as well as other world leaders from Canada, Australia, and other American allies support Ukraine and say that, they stand with Ukraine despite the clash between the two leaders. So now it's going to be interesting to see how this relationship goes forward, and in fact, if Europe is willing to step up. And given the fact that Donald Trump has said that he's not willing to have any more dialogue with President Zelensky unless he's more open and, as Donald Trump said, when he's ready to come back and talk about peace. Because in terms of what President Trump said yesterday, he does not believe that President Zelensky is ready to talk about peace as long as America is involved, because he sees Zelensky viewing America aligning with Russia. So interesting developments coming in as far as this story is concerned. Back to you.
Right, absolutely. In fact, Disha, Zelensky's first response, it is quite telling, but it also reflects on the kind of position that the Ukrainian president is in at the moment.
Absolutely. It is not support from America, from Washington is crucial for Kyiv, given this war which has been going on for the last 3 years. And it is yet to be seen how Europe could, in fact, fill in this sort of void that Washington might, leave if Donald Trump does decide to take away support from Kyiv. Because even apart from aid, they have also militarily given a lot of weapons and helped in sort of defense when it comes to the war against Ukraine's war against Russia. So it remains to be seen how Europe would, step in and perhaps fill this void, which is why Ukrainian President Zelensky, even after the fiery clash in the Oval Office, went ahead and thanked President Trump, thanked the American people for their continued support over the last couple of years. Just to remind our viewers, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and U.S. President Donald Trump both were reiterating that and accusing Ukrainian President Zelensky of not being thankful and not being grateful to Washington for its continued support, to which the Ukrainian President said that he has been thanking the U.S. administration for the last years, and even the new administration, the Trump administration, he's quite grateful for their support in these talks. But he also did reiterate that there needs to be honest and open dialogue, that Mr. Trump needs to understand the Ukrainian perspective when it comes to this war, which is why he again said that, these negotiations and these talks are going to be quite tough between the two leaders, but it is crucial, and hence the strategic part, the relationship must continue. So,
right. In fact, having said that, how is the European countries, and especially the European Union is going to receive this statement from Volodymyr Zelensky?
I think given the fact that Ukrainian president made these comments just as he's landed in London ahead of this meeting with European leaders, this summit with European leaders, to discuss the war effort and understand how talks can continue and talks can take place where Ukraine and Europe are also on the table. I think these comments are some sort of positive sign, saying that, it is not a complete breakdown of ties, but now Europe must step up and perhaps step in to negotiate between U.S. and Ukraine and bring both parties back on the table to ensure that Ukraine and Europe are part of the negotiations when it comes to a peace agreement between U.S. Ukraine, with U.S. brokering the deal. So I think Europe is seeing this as some sort of positive sign, but still a long way ahead, because yesterday's fiery clash at the Oval Office did highlight that there is heightened tensions between both administrations in Washington and in Kyiv.
Right. In fact, I'm also currently joined by my colleague Vishal Vivek. Vishal, before I ask you about the kind of impact that this entire statement or Zelensky's stance might have on the Russia-Ukraine war, I also want to understand from you the minerals deal details. How do you think it is going to benefit both Ukraine and the United States in this situation?
So, Osama, the U.S. has been talking about the minerals deal for a while now. Even before there were reports that, a deal is set to be signed, Trump had been talking about Ukraine's minerals, because Ukraine apparently has a rich source of these rare earth minerals, lithium, uranium, etc. So these minerals are used in various high technology items such as phones, etc. So that is why he has an eye on that area of Ukraine. But at the same time, these areas are mostly under Russian occupation. So even if the deal is signed, it remains to be seen how Ukraine will be able to manage this with the U.S. because, as I mentioned, it's mostly in the Russian occupied territory. So that will have to be seen. And on the other hand, we have this fiery exchange at the Oval Office that happened a few hours ago. That was sort of unprecedented. J.D. Vance and Trump, they lashed out at Zelensky, and they did not even let him speak for a while. So all of that has to be seen with a close eye, what that exactly means. Is it the U.S. now totally siding with the Russian side, or U.S. actually wants to have peace in Ukraine? So there are a lot of questions, but yeah, this will calm the nerves down in the U.S., this statement from Zelensky, the fact that he's still willing to get the deal, and he's out in the open saying that he wants the deal to happen. So that will sort of give some sort of confidence to the U.S. side which just a few hours ago said that stable for now.
Right.
Zelensky says that he wants peace. The deal won't. the deal won't happen. So there are several questions that need to be answered, but just a few hours ago, it's almost appeared that the deal was not going to happen, but now that Zelensky has come out with statement, as I said, the nerves would be calmed down and Trump could consider meeting him again.
All right, Vishal, stay with us. Vishnu Shom also joins us on the phone line to get us more on this. Vishnu, what do we make of this statement from the Ukrainian president?
This is the hardlining of the position of Volodymyr Zelensky, very much along the lines of what Ukraine has been arguing all along, that, look, there have to be security guarantees. So there is absolutely no getting down or backing away from their position after that unbelievable spat between him, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump in the White House, which saw him being effectively ejected from the White House after a verbal row, the likes of which we've never seen among any leaders in modern history that I'm aware of. The key part of what Zelensky has said, he's now in London, is that it'll be difficult without U.S. support, but we can't lose our will, our freedom, or our people. We've seen how many Russians came to our homes and killed many people. Nobody wants another wave of occupation. If we cannot be accepted to NATO, we need some clear structure of security guarantees from our allies in the U.S. So they want, in fact, he says, we need the U.S. role in defining security guarantees. What kind, what volume, and when? This is the one thing that the United States has been unclear on. While Ukraine doesn't have a problem with the minerals deal, Ukraine is absolutely clear that, fine, by all means, get into a minerals deal with us. Let that go, in a sense, towards repaying the debt that Ukraine has towards the acquisition of American weaponry. But what is the security guarantee that is going to take place? Now, that is important to Ukraine, and Ukraine's entire diplomatic argument is premised around that argument on the need for security guarantees. Because as they point out, in 2014, when Russia initially invaded Crimea, they'd gotten into an agreement with Russia, which Ukraine believes they backtracked on. Of course, the Russians have a different perspective. But what Zelensky now says is that there has to be a robust peace. So the bottom line is that there's no backing down over here. If anything, this is a hardening of his position. But he's absolutely clear. Give us security guarantees, otherwise we can't move forward.